What up, everybody? It's your boy Ricky Rick, and your boy Ricky Rick is back with another Ricky Talk. And today is June 8th, 2025. In case you didn't know, now you know. Today I want to talk to you guys about the LA riots. It all started when ICE started their Trump administration of deporting immigrants. And you started seeing the effect and what that does to the people who are being affected by this. We've seen countless videos online going viral, people running away from immigration, getting caught, innocent people getting hurt, just by trying to have an innocent protest. You've seen a girl who lost her dad and she's crying, talking to her family on the phone. You got people who are just trying to go to their normal day, go to work and make some money, and be invaded by immigration officers, ICE showing up at people's houses, ICE breaking windows to people's cars just to get these individuals. And I mentioned this on my Instagram, someone who comes from two worlds. Basically what I'm trying to say, I was born here in the US, but a lot of my family who came before me come from Mexico, are Hispanic. So what's going on right now hits hard to me. It's really difficult to watch what's going on, and being told that all you can do is have a peaceful protest and not to engage or not to be violent. But it's like, to me, the way I look at it, it's kind of like when a man hits a woman. In my early days growing up here in California, growing up in the United States of America, my dad would always tell me, how lucky we are to have been born here, and the fact that we're living here in the greatest place on earth where the people are united. No matter what color you are, no matter what race you are, this is the place where you can make your dreams come true. And for the longest time, that was the case. In more recent years, with Donald Trump becoming president, you started seeing people represent more and be more vocal about their opinions and how they feel about certain things. A lot of people feel that racism has come back and is hitting harder than ever. To me, the kind of guy that I am, the kind of guy that I've always been the type of person that I can get along with anybody, male or female, white, black, Asian, Hispanic, doesn't matter, because that's not the first thing that I see. I just see a person who's in front of me, someone that I have the opportunity to get to know, whether it's at home, the workplace, in the world in general, online. I always treat people with respect. I've always been told to treat people the way I want to be treated. But what's going on and the things that are happening in LA, and throughout the world, I can definitely see why violence took place, because, just like anybody, I think just like any father or mother, if somebody messes with your family, you're going to stand up. And that's exactly what the people have decided to do, we're getting pushed to a certain degree that enough is enough. Enough is enough. We're done. We tried doing things the right way. We tried voting for people. We tried telling people what we want, and it's not happening. And some of the videos that I saw yesterday, that were coming out and going viral were people stating like, okay, you're the people in LA who are out there protesting, they're protesting with the Mexican flag and not the United States flag, you know? And I think the reason why a lot of people are, this is me, my opinion, why I think a lot of people are showing off the Mexican flag is to let everybody know and show the world how many of us are all over the United States. How many of us, you know, you're saying that you guys want to take us out, but look how many of us are here. You know, like, look, like, we try talking and they're not listening. Maybe we need to show you. We need you guys to open your, not only your ears, but your eyes and see that there's a lot of us and we're not going to go down without a fight. You know? And I think, you know, the other day I saw this video that's going super viral about a Disney movie, I believe it's Ants, where the grasshopper is saying, look what happens if we let these ants step up to us. You know, one, you don't feel it, but a gang of them, yes. And I think a lot of us need to not just watch what's going on, but be more vocal. We need to like come out and say how we feel, because, you know, this ain't right. And if a lot of us feel that way, we need to talk. Just imagine if this is your dad, your mother, your brother, your sister, maybe your kids, whoever. Maybe it's your teacher, maybe it's someone you grew up knowing, maybe it's a friend. You know, you need to like be vocal, stand up and do something. You know, I was just talking about this the other day about when 9/11 happened, or like any disaster around the world happened. You know, when you see what happens to people or destruction hits hard, it makes you want to stand up and do something. It's the right thing to do, bro. We've been taught that all our lives, and now when the time comes, we don't do nothing. We're just told to just stand there and watch and let what happens. We all know that just because someone says something doesn't mean it's true. Just because something is the law doesn't mean, you know, even in the workplace, we have rules. We all have rules we have to follow. And some of us feel that some of those rules need to be broken, or some of those rules need to be adjusted because there's better ways. And some people don't like change. And, you know, the way I can say anything and that shit can get flipped. We all know that. Anybody can say anything and somebody will find something that you said and try to flip it and use it against you. And we're talking about human lives, people who are just trying to do better, people who are going to work. Like, the one thing a lot of people that has been said for over years is that, you know, Hispanics or immigrants are taking people's job. You know, and then like think about it. Okay, let's say we get rid of all these immigrants and everything. I can't remember the last time I seen a white person cut their yard. You know, I can't remember the last time I seen a gang of, you know, whoever, black, white, blue, purple, do construction. You know, and it's not being racist, but we know, ladies, if you go to do your nails, you know what kind of people are there. When you go to the barbershops, you know what kind of people are there. You know who to get a good haircut from. The places you love to eat, you know what kind of people to look for, because they're gonna get the job done right. You know, so it's not being racist. You just know. You learn as you grow when you experience this world of life, and this is supposed to be the place to be, the place to live, because we are one. And it doesn't feel like that anymore. It does not feel like that anymore. So with everything that's going on in LA and throughout the world, and when people feel a certain way, I get it. Even me, just watching the videos. Like, I had a good day the other day. I came home and I hopped on TikTok and I started seeing everything that was going on. And yeah, it affected me. It affected me, and not just only because it's my people, but because it's not right. You know, it's not right, and I decided to be more vocal and, you know, say how I feel, because I feel like a lot of people should too. And I know I'm not the only one that feels that way. And whoever's out there, you know, listening and feel the same way. You're not the only one, and we need to stand up. Latinos stand up, band together for a good cause. And I also want to give a shout out to every person who's not Hispanic, who's not an immigrant, who are out here supporting us and being vocal and standing next to us throughout this. So my prayers go out to all the people in LA, all the people who are protesting, whether you're male, female, a kid, whoever, stay up and be safe.